Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you now. Can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, they'll be over here in 1 minute.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna do you first. Come on. Stand right here. This female will do you first. Okay. Oh, thank you, talking.
All right, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Judge Dallas. I'll be hearing these matters set down on this 20th day of September 2025. Let me just tell everybody what this is about, and then I'll individually, I guess you're already up at the podium. So I'll start with your case. Ms. Williford.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me just tell everybody what today's about. Today's a first appearance. What that means is I tell you what you've been charged with, Ms. Williford and the other two individuals. I tell you what the bond is for each one of those charges and what the probable cause is, why it was that the officer stopped you and wrote the ticket for you. Now, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to try to defend yourself. You don't have to put anything on the record. It's simply procedurally for me to let you know how you're going to move forward. Now, the first thing you need to understand is you have a lot of rights. And the first most important right is to have an attorney represent you. Now, if you cannot afford to hire an attorney at some point during the process, an attorney can be appointed to represent you if you need that. Now, let me tell you this. You have a right to a speedy and public trial by jury. If you decide you want a jury trial, certainly you have an opportunity to make that decision. You don't have to make that decision today, okay? The state has to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That means the state will bring witnesses who would testify against you, and then you or your attorney would be able to cross-examine those witnesses. Now, again, you don't have to testify, present any evidence to support your defense. The state has to prove that you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, you're presumed innocent unless and until the state proves you're guilty. So now now that I've said that, I'll start with you since you're already at the podium. Hold on, ma'am. All right, Miss Williford. All right, so let me get to your set of tickets. So the officer indicated that on September the 19th, 2025 at 8:30 p.m. You were on Chamblee Tucker Road at Britt Road, which is in DeKalb County. This particular officer indicated, and I can't read his handwriting. Let's see. I can't read the officer's handwriting. He swore he signed these tickets. Dag. All right, but he indicated that the first reason that he stopped you, Officer Evans, the first reason he stopped you was because of a hit and run, and that was in violation of 40-6-270. That again is at Chamblee Tucker Road, in Britt Road, Officer Evans. The second charge he gave you was that you had an open container of alcohol, and that's in violation of 40-6-253. And the third charge he gave you was driving under the influence of alcohol in violation of 40-6-391. So, Ms. Williford, I looked at your history, and the thing is, I know you got a couple of cases out of Tennessee, but for the most part, you've never had a DUI. You've never had anything that shows that you're driving under the influence. I'm not telling you to say anything or admit anything, but that's concerning to me.
Yeah.
That's concerning to me because, frankly, you got to make better decisions, Ms. Williford. Now that you have this particular charge, you have to have, you got to go through the process of having an attorney represent you. And there's certain things that are going to happen as you go through the system that now that you have been arrested for this is something that you're going to have to deal with. The DUI, the hit and run in the open container, it's not a good look, right? And I'm looking at your age. You're not an old person, but to me, this does not show that this is the type of behavior, the type of decisions that you enter into. And I need to say that to you because this could really, really, really affect you, Ms. Williford. So there's so many other options that you could have taken. I don't know what happened. I'm not assuming anything. But certainly the fact that the officer had enough probable cause, Officer Evans had the probable cause to stop you because of the hit and run and then charge you with the driving under the influence of alcohol as well as an open container. That's significant. So you're definitely going to need a good attorney, Ms. Williford. Again, if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, then at some point an attorney will be appointed to represent you, okay? So your
Okay.
bonds, Ms. Williford, the bond is the amount that it is because you have not ever had a DUI before. The DUI bond is $1,000. The hit and run, which concerns me, that bond is $500, and the open container is $250. Your total bond is $1,750, Ms. Williford. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you can step back. Thank you, ma'am. I'll call you right back. And then the next person I can talk to is, let's just go now. I can go on the calendar. Christopher Roberson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Roberson. So it's indicating that on September 19th, 2025 at 3:39 p.m. At Memorial Drive and Columbia Drive that you were stopped. Let me see. Let me try to figure out what the probable cause was for the stop. For failure to obey a traffic control device. The failure to obey a traffic control device is in violation of 40-6-20. And while the officer had you stopped, Mr. Roberson, he indicated that you had an open container, a possession of open container of alcohol. That's in violation of 40-6-253. And then the third charge he charged you with is a DUI. And the DUI is a 46-391. Mr. Roberson, you're a relatively young person, okay? This is, you do not want this to be how you move forward with your history, with your driving history, all right? You don't want this to be what dictates who you are and what defines is a better word, what defines who you are. So, Mr. Roberson, you need to really pay attention to your driving and anything else that's happening because you're going to get stopped. You're going to get stopped for something. And once you get stopped, and once the officer has the probable cause to stop you, anything else that he suspects, he's gonna arrest you and charge you with those other charges. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Roberson. All right. So your bond on the failure to obey a traffic control device is $500. The bond on the open container is $500. And the bond, because you don't have a previous DUI, The bond on the DUI is $1,000. Your total bond, sir, is $2,000, Mr. Roberson.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you can step back as well. All right, so now I have Mr. Lofton King.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. King. So, Officer Mitchell indicated that on September the 19th of 2025 at 7:55 p.m., you were on DeKalb. I'm sorry. You're
Ma'am,
on
7:55 p.m.
right you're on I-20 East Columbia Drive, and he
Ma'am,
indicated,
Your
sir.
Honor, if you don't mind me interrupting, Your Honor, I was arrested at 2:15. I was on the way to pick up my children from
Okay,
Shoals Creek
Mr. King.
Elementary.
Mr. King, you don't need to say anything. I'm looking at the citation. It looks like it says 19:55 p.m., which would be, I'm looking at the citation, so I'll say 19:55 p.m. That, so you don't need to interrupt me, sir.
Apologize, Your Honor. My apologies.
You say you weren't trying to, but you absolutely were. All right. So you have a whole lot to say. So I hope that you can say a whole lot when you go back to court with an attorney to answer to these charges, sir. One thing, let me just say this to you moving forward. You don't want to say anything. When you hire an attorney, if you hire an attorney, let the attorney speak for you. You don't want to go into court and say, excuse me, let me correct you, Judge. That is not a good look, sir.
I'm sorry. My apologies, Your Honor. My sincerest apologies. That was not my intention.
I understand that. So
Sorry.
stop talking. Stop talking.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Officer Mitchell on September the 19th of 2025 put down at 19:55 p.m. that you were on 20 East at Columbia Drive. That was being the DeKalb County. That was Officer Mitchell. He basically said you were driving 107 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone, which is in excess of the speed limit. Sir, I hope you were not going to pick up your children at those speeds. Sir, also that you're in the HOV lane by yourself. There was not another person in the HOV lane with you. That's in violation of 40-6-54. He also indicated, 1 second, that you're attempting to elude, and that would be in violation of 40-6-395B1, that the driver attempted to elude the police officer. Officer made multiple maneuvers before bringing the vehicle to a stop. So you've got the attempting to elude, which is one charge. You have the reckless driving, which that you were driving the vehicle in an extremely reckless manner, and speeding, going 107 and a 65, and the HOV lane violation. That would have been that one individual was in the car in an HOV lane that's designated for more than one vehicle, 40-6-54. So the HOV violation is $250. The speeding is going to be $750. The reckless driving is going to be $750. Attempted to elude is going to be $1,000. $22,750. Is that correct? No. Yeah, $2,500. I'll add it up. 2750 is what your total bond is. All right, that's all. Thank you, Mr. King.
Your Honor, I mean, I just apologize to the court. Like,
Absolutely.
I want to start off by saying I apologize for interrupting in the beginning. That was not my intention. I just haven't had the ability to really communicate with anyone outside of this situation. I just got my phone pin before I walked into this building. I wasn't able to communicate. And if you read my report, I was taken to the ER yesterday. The police report, I understand that what you're reading, and I understand that it's based upon the police's situation and circumstance. But I was thrown to the ground twice yesterday after he told me I was eluding when I wasn't, Your Honor. I was on my way to pick up my 3 children. I agree. I was wrong 1000%. There's
Okay,
no excuse for my
no.
speeding.
So I understand that you feel like you don't say anything though, because let me say this to you, Mr. King. First of all, admitting that you're 1,000% wrong, that's not, you don't want to say anything that you could admit to today, where if you get an attorney who says my client was not guilty of anything, and then you come back to court and the attorney says, no, my client was not guilty of anything, but you've already made an admission. So the thing is, Mr. King, I do understand. No, I understand sometimes people have an inclination to explain and to describe the incident more than what I'm seeing on the tickets, on your citations, but you don't want to say anything. I'm not trying to shut you up.
I'm
I'm
listening.
trying
I'm
to make
listening.
sure that you don't incriminate yourself. I'm trying to make sure
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't say anything, because sometimes we'll say something, and in the course of saying something, we hurt ourselves even more moving forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so don't say anything, Mr. King. Wait till either you have an attorney appointed to represent you, or you're able to hire an attorney, and wait till that particular thing happens before you say anything. All right?
Yes, ma'am. And can I
Right.
say something else if that's okay?
Yes, sir.
I was gonna ask, I've never had a situation like this where my fines are crazy and I'm having to do like jail time for real. Like I've never sat in jail this long. I don't, I tried to ask the police, like, how do I do I do a cash bond or how does this work?
They'll tell
I've
you, they'll
never,
give you more information. You won't be there long. The thing about DeKalb County, which is great. First of all, the
yes,
bonds are
ma'am.
low. I'm going to say that to you. These bonds are low. I
Yes,
sit
ma'am.
in a few other jurisdictions. The bonds are never this low in the other jurisdictions, but you kind of go with where you are in terms of setting bonds. You will not be there that long, okay, without having something done to make sure that you're able to get out, okay?
And I have one other question, if that's okay to ask.
Yes, sir.
Um, do I have to have someone bond me out or do I sign and then they let me out and then I pay fines? How
It's
does
not a
this work?
signature bond. You definitely have to have someone post the monies for you.
Can I explain something to you, Your Honor, and just be 100% transparent?
No,
I just went through a divorce.
no, no, nope. Nope, you'll be out soon enough, Mr. King, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Cousins. I'll wait to get those forms from you, right, sir?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Felton.
We send them to you in about less than 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.